Count your blessings, ladies and gentlemen, because this is Brian Pillman Jr., and you're listening to the most influential podcast. You're listening to the Pro Wrestling Proverbs.
Thank you for clicking on another episode of the Pro Wrestling Proverbs podcast. This is Anthony, joined, as always, with our co-host Logan. We got a pretty hectic past couple weeks here. I know we took last week off because we're old, and sometimes we just need a break. That's okay. But Logan had a pretty eventful week himself, though. He went down to a really cool Comic-Con up in Flint, Michigan. He went and checked it out. We'll do a rundown on that. And also in this episode, we'll talk about a crazy, dumb rumor that's been going around that was started by essentially nobody, that the WWE is changing its name back to WWF. Probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. We talk about this Britt Baker, Adam Cole, Christian rumor and innuendos that have been going around. Maybe even touch on the recent suspension of her, and of course another AEW topic. We'll be talking about Shane McMahon.
Of course, of another AEW topic. Shane in AEW, 11 scriptures, 11 great ideas. I know some of them can't happen. I know Macho Man can't fight The Rock at WrestleMania 18 now. I know that can't happen. But I've had some really good ideas. I've had some really fun ideas. And just as a goof, just as a gaff, as the kids say, I pitch Shane McMahon going to AEW. I do a whole rundown. And it was supposed to be just for funsies. Ha ha ha. Shane McMahon's going to show up in AEW. And then that picture's leaked. And people say it's just a meeting. Why are they meeting in a boardroom if it's just a meeting? Like, or just happenstance?
It was an airport boardroom. Okay.
But still.
So they're
why not just go get coffee? Why not go to a Bennigan's? All right.
Well, I'll read this. I don't think you've seen it. It was yesterday. Tony Khan was on Sedano and Cap podcast yesterday.
Okay.
And this was his comment in regards to Shane. Well, as I understand, he's not doing anything with WWE, and I had a really nice visit with him. I had heard from a lot of people that he was interested in talking and had become, frankly, a big media story to the point where I was getting asked on the record questions about it, and I answered them. And just like I'll answer you now, I had never met him in advance of my first conversation with him. There's a lot of buzz about this, so I thought it would certainly be worth talking. And I have a lot of respect for him. I had never met him, but he seemed like a really nice guy. I sat down with him, and he was fantastic. I really enjoyed talking to him. He's a very smart person about wrestling. I thought he was a great guy. We have a lot of mutual friends. We both happened to be in Dallas. By the way, he goes on to say, a mutual friend linked us up who is one of the bigger names in pro wrestling, and that friend put us in a group chat, and we were both in the same town at the same time. Somebody in the middle of talking at a airport conference room, somebody just busted in, I guess, and took a photo, but I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with a couple people getting together and talking about wrestling. I think that's part of what makes wrestling so great. There's a lot to talk about, and we're all fans at heart. So yeah, he's saying that some random person just took a photo. I doubt it.
Yeah, and here's the thing, right? Tony Khan, as much as the internet likes to dog him, he's a smart man. And there's been surprises on AEW that people have had no idea about. Like, he's kept under wraps.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that if he just met Shane McMahon in Dallas to talk about wrestling, this just randomly happened. This just randomly got out. No, this was planned. I did see something about a friend linking them up, and with it being a bigger person, it's either got to be like Mercedes or Edge, right? Baby Bryan Danielson.
in the article I was just reading, Cage Side Seats seems to think it's Mercedes.
Yeah, it would make sense. And again, I know I like to poke fun at Shane, you know. I like to say if I saw him on the street, I'd run up and I'd hit him with a punch that looked 1,000 times better than his ever would. And I could actually do that run without tearing my quad. It's well, he was smart for pro wrestling, right? Like, he wanted to buy UFC. Vince said no. He wanted to put ECW in the traditional ECW sense online and have Paul Heyman run it. Vince said no. He is from what I understand, he was a big supporter of OVW when Cornette was there. Vince, of course, and Cornette butted heads. Shane had a mind for the business. But for all the AEW, because it's like a split fence, right? People are either excited or they're not excited. They think this is some hostile takeover. I don't think Shane and his dad are working together to buy AEW. It's a stupid idea. If you believe it, you're stupid. But then there's the ones that are like, oh, he's going to bring all these new ideas. Blah, blah, blah. Do you think that if he had a mind for the business that Vince would have passed him up for Stephanie and Triple H, who Vince before has proven he didn't really like Hunter for a long time? Like, do you really think if Shane had all these great ideas that Vince would have passed him over? No. Somewhere along the way, Shane lost sight, kind of like his dad. Fruit doesn't fall too far from the tree. I mean, look at his last Rumble appearance, where he pissed everyone off, and he wanted to enter at 30, and he wanted to be the one to, like, beat the shit out of Brock, and get out of here. I'm not proud in saying this. One of my favorite WrestleMania memories of late is watching him eat shit in the ring, and knowing that that's probably his last WWE appearance. I know it's probably terrible. I know you're not supposed to wish ill will on people, but damn, he would book himself. He booked himself like people do when they create themselves on a video game. Well, or it's like, oh man, I don't want to give myself the world title, but I could beat up Brock Lesnar. Oh, I don't want to give myself a world title, but I want to sell with insert big star here. Yeah, sounds like a plan. Ooh, I don't know if I'll win the match, but I'm gonna beat the shit out of myself so bad that I can't even walk, and then I'm still gonna almost win. Like, I just can't believe, like I said, out of 11 scriptures, this is the one that has the slight chance to come true. Not the territories one, not the Bullet Club Elite fighting each other, not Goldberg's last match, not Sting's last match, not even Hogan's last match. By the way, if you want to watch any of these, there's a nice little playlist on YouTube. Go take a look. But it's Shane and AEW that could become true. You know how sick that makes me?
I'm sure it's something you've always dreamed about.
Came back on my birthday. All right, it was supposed to be literally anyone but him.
Weren't you watching
it was
the movie
Shane
when that happened?
I was watching The Witch, and I received a bunch of messages from my wrestling friends, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's Shane McMahon! Wow, Shane McMahon! Oh shit, it's Shane McMahon!" And then he almost beat Taker at Mania, and then along the way he won the tag titles for some reason, and the lockbox, and just so many things wrong. All right, I'm gonna say causation correlation. People like to say that the worst period in WWE history was from like that 2017 to about 2020. You know who was a primary face in that era? Shane McMahon. All right. And I know it probably wasn't his full idea, but on screen and kayfabe, he came up with Raw Underground. So if that gives you any idea as to how just broken he is, I don't know what else will. The only thing that could make this worse is if he came out and Nicholas was a tag team partner. And let me just say, Nicholas has become such a meme for me, like hating him,
Yeah.
to where when we were at, was it Really Cool Con? It was around Really Cool Con. We were either at the convention or we were at a store before it. My wife saw the build of Nicholas, and my dad also saw the build of Nicholas, and they're like, "Hey, look at that!" And let me tell you, I didn't want the podcast to bleed into the real world like that.
I did.
But apparently, apparently what I'm going to be known for is my ad reads, some press passes, and my hatred for Nicholas and Shane McMahon. And the Sultan, too, apparently. Thanks, Dalton, for listening to our podcast and going out and buying me a Sultan figure after I said that I hated that the Sultan got a figure. It's all just one big joke to everyone.
I think it'd actually be kind of hilarious that maybe the referee that's like Nicholas's dad, lose. Okay, wouldn't be funny if he lost his job. So he switches careers or switches companies.
Okay.
And he goes to AEW, and then
Don't say that.
and they do like the same angle again, but on AEW. Like Wardlow is like,
I'd have a stroke.
I'm gonna need a tag team partner to take on whoever he's feuding with, and he's like, I'll pick somebody from the crowd.
No, with my luck, it'd be Mark Briscoe. They do some angle, and it'll be us versus the Briscoe Bros. Oh wait, he's dead. And then Mark will be like, I'm gonna get a partner. I'm gonna get a former tag team champion myself. And then be like, oh, who is it? And then Nicholas comes out, and I don't even want to put that out into the universe, because apparently when I put things out into the universe I don't want, they happen.
I think this is evidence of like the existence of God. He's obviously like working against you. You did something to piss him off.
I'm getting so angry that I have a phone alarm going off. I don't really know what it's for.
That's your heart monitor. Your blood pressure is rising.
My heart monitor going off because of Shane and Nicholas and everything else.
That's all good. Are you ever done ranting about Shane McMahon?
Yeah, I don't. Sorry, I figured I'd shut that off before we hear it the whole time.
It's all good.
But yeah, a nice little goof and a gaff. But as I mentioned, I guess a nice little kind of a not as clean a segue as I normally do. But and you mentioned earlier too, I was at Really Cool Con.
Yes, you were. How was it?
We were graciously given. No, we were graciously given passes again. I uploaded a little reel showing some walking points of the con. It wasn't as wrestling centric as it was last year, which, I mean, I don't know if you have FOMO like I do, but Ethan Page was there last year, right? And we didn't go up and meet him. And now he's NXT champion,
was he there?
taking the world by storm. Yep.
Well,
Ethan Page.
maybe that's more. I mean, it says more about Ethan Page in AEW than it does about us.
Yeah. but it wasn't as wrestling centric this year. I know we talked about last year how there was a couple booths that had a whole bunch of wrestling figures. That wasn't there this year. Probably good for my wallet. Can't complain. It was me, my wife, my brother, because his birthday was the 2nd. So took him, and then my dad and his girlfriend we were all there. I talked it up pretty heavily to my dad. I said it was, one of our favorites of last year. It and Astronomicon kind of tied at the top for different reasons. He looked and he saw the vendors, so he decided to go. He said it did not disappoint. We all walked out with a bunch of stuff. I shared on our socials the wrestling-related stuff. I finally found the Legion of Doom figures from the 90s that weren't all scuffed up. Didn't look like they'd been chewed on by a dog. I got the Rizzler, that gobbledygooker figure, which I was saying off the podcast beforehand that it's normally like $80 for it and the Undertaker. Amazon clearanced it to like $52. I got it for $15 with the egg. Not a bad deal. And then at the same table, I got my brother the Ethan Page, the Ring of Honor looking figures, which the face is done really well. Legs don't really bend, so I don't know how someone is supposed to play with the figure. And then I got the Scorpio Sky Kazarian 2-pack, which is pretty cool because now he has all the AEW belts. Good end to a birthday. The same birthday where I mentioned he got me the Sultan. I know for a fact that he loves Omos, so I found him Omos' first figure. So, yep. He wants to play that game. I'll double down. Trying to think what else we got, because it wasn't just he actually found this one table where I'll have to send you a picture. They do art prints, but they use renders from video games. So he got me this Godzilla one as I was walking around looking at other things. Sam and I got one of our new shows that we like. It's called Delicious in Dungeon.
Okay.
And it's a show. It's not wrestling related, but it's like a D&D campaign, and it'll show some monster fighting and all that. But when they kill the monsters, they eat them, and it shows how they cook them, and they'll take this big old monster, and they'll turn it into sushi, or they'll turn it into like a meatloaf, and just a fun little show. You don't see a lot of merchandise of it, so whenever we do, we buy what we can. I'm trying to think what else I got. Got a Kermit sticker. I got a It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia sticker from the same vendor. There's a Rum Ham sticker for It's Always Sunny fans out there. Again, you don't see a lot for Sunny, so I was glad to see that. And I think that's what stands out at Really Cool Con, is you don't see the usual merchandise. All the vendors there bring something new to the table. Like last year, I found those Kitty Cat horror movie posters. This year, I had to hold back. There's this Godzilla Aztec-looking figure that I wanted. Yeah, it's going online for like $500. So I didn't even ask the guy how much he was selling it for, because I was too afraid. I did have a credit card that probably could have handled it, but I'm trying to not drop hundreds of dollars on figures. No? I was pretty good when we went to the Capital City Comic Con a few weeks ago, and they had the Macho Man Slim Jim display that I wanted, but they wanted $250 for it. And I just, I got bills. I don't got kids, I got kittens. Just trying to, and a dog. Just trying not to blow my wad on something that is going to collect dust and I'm eventually going to have to sell anyway, No, I loved the con. It was set up a little bit different than last year. Last year, remember specifically when your fiance sent us to find the CM Punk figure for you that you wanted. It's probably a good thing we got it, right? In hindsight. Um,
Well, why are they like ridiculously expensive right now?
I don't know if it is, but I know we left AEW, and I know how figure traders are, so I wouldn't doubt if it is, or if they're just trying to upsell it. But you guys sat in the stands. From what I saw, there wasn't a lot of people sitting in the bleachers. And like I said, they had some food on the main floor. I don't know if that's all just where we entered at, but yeah, I enjoyed being there. It wasn't super packed. Again, the prices were good. A lot of good different vendors. Like I said, am I missing anything that the LOD, the stickers, that picture my brother got me.
So you felt pretty good though. You didn't- Not
Yeah.
not having to go to SummerSlam right before and.
Oh my goodness. I was able to walk around 2-3 times and not be overly tired. I mean, that's my worry was that maybe last year we were clouded with thinking that it was good, but we were just so tired that we're like, But this year it was still a good time. They definitely can keep up with what they're doing. I do not disagree with their tagline of the best summer convention in Michigan. Yeah, if you're in the Flint area, August, definitely pop in. It's not an expensive show to go to. And like I said, thank you to Mike for giving us the time of day, giving us passes a second year in a row. They and Astronomicon are still at the top of my conventions. And the older I get, and the least... how do I want to word it? The least patience I have with sitting in vehicles, and the least patience I have with people. Both of these cons give me what I'm looking for, and have merchandise at a fair price. Whether they are wrestling-centered or not.
I'm happy I had a good time. I unfortunately was not able to attend this year.
No, with everything else that we've been doing, advertising-wise, press pass-wise, social media-wise, podcast-wise, I don't want to say we forgot about it, because we've been regularly talking about it, regularly communicating with Mike.
I forgot. I forgot to put the time off in for work. That's what happened.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say we've both been pretty busy, just life-wise, good and bad. So it's just one of those things. And luckily, I'll have to say, if you miss a convention, my wife is there to help bring ideas, record things. And if I were to miss one, or if I can't go to something, your fiance's there to pick up the slack and help. Not saying that the two of us are incapable, but it's good to have that filter, And they're both there, and it worked out because we had the 3 passes, and like I said, my brother's birthday was right around it, so it was cool. And I will say it sounded like you had a little bit of FOMO just for how the passes looked themselves.
Yeah. What was the guy's name? Mike?
Yeah.
See, when I went, and I got my pass, it was just like the logo, which is fine. Or what was it? Let me go grab it.
Yeah. So, as Anthony's grabbing that, he's a big Spider-Man fan.
Oh, wait.
Like, to the point...
I can't play that much anyway. Hold on. The pass we got... I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, yep.
I just dropped over passes. I can't complain. Because the really cool Comic-Con pass we got last year had Miles Morales on it, and I just forgot.
Yeah, yeah, and what I was saying while you were away is, you're a big Spider-Man fan. I'm sure we've talked about it on here, where we traveled. How far away was Alma from Mount Pleasant? 20, 30 minutes?
It was like 50 minutes round trip.
Yeah, to go to a Red Box to get Spider-Man to play on it was my PS4.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, I bought Godzilla on the PS4 and Alien Isolation on the PS4 and played it on yours before I even had one. So I let you play Spider-Man and we sat and I watched you play the whole game. But yeah, big Spider-Man fan. I liked this year's passes a little more myself because it's J. Jonah Jameson, and he's in the press.
Hey.
He is the press. Give me pictures of Ethan Page figures. But yeah, I've got that. But like I said, yeah, it was upsetting you couldn't go, but I think, my brother probably thought it was pretty cool to be able to have a press pass for his 18th birthday. Well, hi Taco, you coming up here to talk about? You didn't go to the really cool con. Next year we'll bring you.
We went to the really cool cat con.
Yeah, him and Maverick and Miles and Pinto. Did you all have fun?
I even named my cat after a Spider-Man character.
But yeah, no, I you could tell Dalton really enjoyed it. And, central part of the Pro Wrestling Proverbs team. And funny enough, it was 2 years after we went to StarCast. And a year after we went to WrestleCon, so I guess if anything keeps the lights on at PWP headquarters, it's taking my brother to a con. But
Lucky Dalton.
Lucky
Dalton. Keep taking Dalton to his cons and get him all these figs. I don't know if you're gonna be able to keep your lights on. Jeez Louise.
I know, between the two of us, I'm not gonna have no money.
Yeah. So.
But you know what does help keep our lights on?
Just say it.
The fact that we are Squatch affiliates with Dr. Squatch.
Hey. That's us.
I will say, apparently, because I do like that type of bar soap. The grit, the smells, I love it. I prefer it over body wash. I wish I discovered it sooner. To the fact of where this past Christmas, my wife got me 3 of the bar soaps, and I've loved them. I didn't realize it was Dr. Squatch. That's my bad. And the point of this story is, now that we're Squatch affiliates, I decided I thought it was the first time I was trying the product. So I got shampoo, I got the conditioner, because I've started, my hair's grown out. Got some soaps, and as, once it arrived, and it only took a few days, which good on them for that shipping. I go in the bathroom where all my stuff is, and I start putting, I'm like, which scent am I going to do first? And the one I didn't choose, I set on my soap shelf, and lo and behold, the same soap sitting there. And I came out of the bathroom, and I looked at my wife, and I go, "Did you buy me Dr. Squatch?" She goes, "Yeah, Christmas." And I go, "Apparently I don't remember." But all the scents are great. They're all naturey or ocean smells. Recently, they did a SpongeBob theme, which you couldn't have told me that would have happened. And I love the shampoo. I love the conditioner. And, my wife says that I don't have as much dandruff, which is crazy because once I started using Dr. Squatch, I stopped using, I'm not going to say what brand, but I think we all know, to prevent dandruff. And you'd think that by me stopping using it, I'd get more dandruff, but my wife says I have less.
Nice.
So it not only smells good, but it clearly works. The natural product in there. And so use our referral link in the description of the video here, and you will get $10 off any order of $20 or more. And if you decide to spend as much as I did, I'm not going to say how much I spent on Dr. Squatch product, but it was enough, and I got free shipping too. So definitely go check that out. Especially since, like I said, we are Squatch affiliates. And just watch our social medias, because every so often I will probably be putting, some links out there. Or I think the last one I did, I talked about Sasquatches and Yetis in professional wrestling. Andre the Giant and the Yeti in WCW. Who knows? My next idea was probably to talk about big feet in wrestling, because big feet, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, it ties together, folks. Sure. But just thank you again to Dr. Squatch, and thank you to those who use our referral link. But who isn't getting a thank you, or I should say rumored to not be getting a thank you?
Your mom?
Okay. I'm going to tell her you said that. I'm going to tell her you said that.
Do it. I dare you.
I'm going to do it, and you'll probably... And then I'm going to tell your mom that you said that about my mom.
Did you... Hold on. Did you message my mom for her birthday? It was 2 days ago.
Perhaps.
She was saying... I was going to message you, remind you, because she was saying... Because I went over there for a birthday dinner, and she was like, oh my God, Logan always messages me on Mother's Day, on Christmas, on all these holidays, and he hasn't messaged me yet on my birthday.
So, pull behind the curtain here. You said it was 2 days ago?
Yeah.
You're going to kick out of this. Not wrestling related. Apparently this is one of those podcasts. Sorry to those listening. So, you said how we hadn't recorded in a while. I went camping. It was great. I forgot how much I loved the water. Especially now that I wear glasses, because it was beautiful Lake Huron. I'd go out there, and I'd go far enough out to where one side is water, and I turn and look, and the other side is trees and beach. And I don't hear anything. It was fantastic. I was at peace. I loved it. All the while knowing that right before we left, our dryer took a shit. When we moved into the house, the washer was like a year old. The dryer was about 5-6 years old. So it was coming. It was one of those things where I looked to try and fix it. I have an electrician friend, and with everything I told him, he said it was the motor. At this point, it would be cheaper to get a new dryer. I get it. We got the new dryer, and he said 2 days ago. So 2 days ago, my dad and I put the new dryer in. Didn't pay attention. Hindsight, there was a connector still on the pipe. You're supposed to connect it directly to the pipe. We didn't pay attention. It was supposed to be a quick, easy job. Boom, boom, boom. Small little gas leak. My dad left. I was pissed off that it wasn't a quick and easy. So, Amy, Mama Murphy, I did see it was your birthday, and I did have the intention of messaging you, but I was not in a good headspace. You don't know this. I'm sure Anthony knows this. Sam clearly knows this. When I get really irritated, there's a lot of swears. There's a lot of throwing things. Tried to fix it yesterday. Yep, still yesterday. Didn't work. So then I went to work and I talked to my inner circle of people. Apparently, besides pipe thread, which I know about, there's also a gas thread. So as I'm trying to put the one connector on the other connector, it's trying to put gas thread on a pipe thread. It just doesn't work, which is why there's that slight leak. Not enough to kill me, but just enough. And yes, I turned the gas off. But just enough. So today, once I realized what it was, we took that old connector off, hooked everything up, good as new. But for those 2 days, I was pissed off. Which we were supposed to, again, pull my curtain, supposed to record yesterday. I am getting tattoos tomorrow, that's true. But I was so pissed off, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. So yeah, I did. I knew it was her birthday. I saw it. I saw you. You had a great post, as a son should, and I missed it.
Because she shares a
Now she's
birthday with Obama, so I was like to
I didn't.
wish
Yes,
her,
yes.
to wish her and Obama a birthday at the same time.
Now she's gonna think I like Fred more, which is not the case.
But you know,
Love them both
always,
equally.
She always thinks that. She always
But I
says,
like Fred more.
No, not just you. Like she's like, oh,
jeez.
you guys always give Dad a great Father's Day gift, and I get chocolate covered cherries or some shit like that, and I hate them.
Chocolate covered cherries.
You know what's hilarious?
It's a great gift.
No, she hates them, and I did not know that.
Oh.
For like the longest time, like I'd always get her chocolate covered cherries, and she'd just be like, "Oh, thank you." And it wasn't until like last year she told me, she's like, "Son, listen, I hate chocolate covered cherries. I don't know why you guys give me this every year." I'm like, my sister like told me you love these. Like I called her like. It was just years ago. It's not like I called her because I didn't know what to get. I was like, "Wish I get Mom for." I think it was for Christmas. I wish I get Mom for Christmas. I don't know, a hand thing, I think. And she was like, "Chocolate covered cherries." She loves them. So for every like gift, I get her a fucking for like Christmas, Mother's Day, whenever they have them out, I'll always grab her a thing of chocolate covered cherries. You know, they're only like a couple bucks.
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah. And it's a great, I mean, I think it's a great gift.
She hates them. She does not think they're good. She won't eat them. She like throws them away as soon as we leave the house.
Does she listen to these? Or does only your dad listen to these?
Only my dad. I don't think my mom could figure out how to listen to a podcast if she tried.
So, my idea now is on our Etsy store, cheap little plug there, we have these 8x10s. Signed 8x10s. But it's from both of us, me and you. I am now going to find a Pro Wrestling Proverbs picture where it's just me. I don't know if it's going to be me with the belt at StarCast, if it's going to be me at a convention alone, if it's going to be, me meeting someone. I don't know what it's going to be yet. And I'm going to sign it. I'm going to send it. And I'm going to put out a message there like, "Sorry I missed your birthday. Always my favorite." And I'm going to sign it. Because now I feel bad. And like I said, subconsciously I knew it was there, but I didn't want anything to do with the world. I was so pissed off. Because, and here's the reason why I plugged it in myself. I had him take the old dryer away, had him bring the new dryer in, but Best Buy wanted $250 to hook up a dryer. $250?
I could have done that for you for free. It's not that hard to hook up.
Get out of here. Well, and like I said, it was just a stupid mistake that, because the fitting that was still on the pipe was so rusted and so old, it looked like it was the pipe. So I thought nothing of it, and I'm like, why won't these connect? Why is there this slightly... And then again, yesterday, I held up a fitting to it, and I looked at it, and I go, that's a goddamn fitting. And I'm not proud of it. I slammed my pipe wrench into the wall. Oh, look at that. We have a...
I can imagine you just slamming shit, too. You
get
angry, you just throw shit.
Sam does not like it.
I've grown out of it. I don't throw stuff anymore.
I have to get to a certain level of pissed off, and it's usually when it's like house related. And I'll admit, and the thing about today, I couldn't
Give
get
yourself a bloody nose playing fucking Spyro. All right.
Crash Bandicoot. All right, Spyro was easy. Crash Bandicoot is super fucking hard, but I was trying to put the swivel on and it just wouldn't go, and this is probably gonna put me on a list. I slammed my head into my wall. And then I looked at it and I go, oh, that was the issue. And I connected it and it worked fine. So I have a dryer. It's actually running right now.
See, kids,
yeah, my apologies.
Sometimes you just need to bash your head against the wall to figure out a problem. So whenever you're struggling with homework or even on a test in school, just whatever any hard surface you can find, a desk, the classmate next to you, just whack.
Yeah. So my apologies to Mama Murphy. Nothing but great to me. Bought me those sandwiches from Walmart. Or she bought me Burger King a couple times. She convinced your dad to let me come to Ponderosa and, cost him $90. She just sat there and laughed.
Yeah, I did. I was like,
$90.
That's what I was saying, $90.
And she just sat there and laughed. And you got this. But yeah, nope. She'll be getting one of those in the mail. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. But we kind of went off the rails a little bit there. Kind of went off the rails.
It's all good.
But I guess
where we're on here. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about the WWF thing, huh?
We didn't even get to the Britt Baker thing. I segued into it.
Oh, okay, we can talk about that.
I segued into it, and then it just did not get there. So I don't remember even how I segued into it. So if it was good. If it was bad, I guess it's a good thing we skipped it. I don't know if anyone's seen, and I had to bring you up to speed on this, which usually you have to bring me up to speed on these kind of rumors and innuendo. It's rumored Britt Baker and Adam Cole have split up. He talked about, which I felt stupid because it was under his one name that he posted it on. And it doesn't come out and say Adam Cole. So I'm staring at it and I'm like, who is this guy and why is everyone caring that he's single? So then I started reading comments and go, oh, that's Adam Cole. Oh no, is him and Britt Baker split up? Because, they're a cute little couple. And rumor is they split. He's moving alone. Which kind of sucks for him because, he was one of the big three that showed up in AEW. Him, Punk, and Danielson. Punk obviously didn't work out. And Bryan Danielson clearly worked out. Adam Cole, I like I said earlier, I did a scripture on him. And he got concussed, he got hurt.
I'm distracting Logan right now. This is my fault.
Yeah, messages keep popping up. But Adam Cole got hurt. He was supposed to. That whole devil thing really didn't work out in AEW, and so nothing's really worked out for Adam Cole since he left NXT. And now the rumor is he and Britt Baker split. But that's not the rumor and innuendo we're here to talk about, folks. Nope. The rumor and innuendo we're here to talk about is supposedly when Adam Cole had this concussion the first time, Christian gave him a switch and started hanging out with him and Britt Baker. In doing so, supposedly, I'm gonna throw my hands up and say it's a rumor. Allegedly, Enzo Amore allegedly.
Enzo.
Yeah, because that was always the meme. Allegedly. I don't know if you remember us doing that. Whenever we'd mention Enzo, we would say allegedly.
Oh, yeah.
So allegedly here, Britt Baker cheated on Adam Cole with Christian. And I said this before we started recording, and you said that you distracted me. I distracted you because you went radio silence for like 10 minutes. You were trying to dig down this rabbit hole.
I don't think I actually learned anything.
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? And I think what makes it more interesting is it's Christian, which he's the kayfabe brother of Edge. Which could you imagine if the first big like wrestling breakup, wrestling cheating scandal since Edge, Matt Hardy, and Lita was involved Christian? Like how just fucking funny would that be?
So in my digging, I found a gamer FAQ forum, like a wrestling forum.
From 2022,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And it was titled, "So what's this about Christian and Britt Baker? Anybody know any information on this?" And Sunburn Costanza says, "Christian fucks every female wrestler in the locker room. It's not personal." It's not a slight against Cole. It is what it is. Dave Meltzer confirmed this on the podcast, by the way. Christian had a threesome with Britt and Jungle Boy's sister.
Stop. Wait, this was from 2022?
Yeah. A year
Was
ago.
Christian and Jungle Boy in a feud then? Oh, a year ago? Okay, okay. So they were they feuding?
September
Like
14th, 2022.
I can't. I'm not good with dates as it is. I'm hoping Christian and Jungle Boy are feuding then, because if not, that's just too coincidental, man.
Apparently, this story is coming from our good friend, enemy of the pod, Brad Shepard.
Yeah, fuck you, Brad.
So take it with a grain of salt, but we're gonna have a little fun. I'll have a little fun with it. We'll see what happens. I
Yeah,
legit wonder
it's interesting.
If Christian's injury was caused by messing with the wrong wrestler's girl. Wait, Christian banged Britt Baker? Why do we entertain obviously fake stories from a guy who's known to make up fake stories? True. Why are we entertaining this?
Because like I'm gonna blame Edge, because it makes it that much juicier, right? Like if the Edge thing didn't happen, it would still be interesting and be like, oh, could this happen? But because it's Edge, like I'm just picturing the two of them are sitting. Do you remember on the Edge and Christian show where they had the room that had the light and the switch for the light just dangled in front of them, kind of like an old detective show? Yeah. I'm just imagining they're sitting in that, and Christian's like, dude, I want Britt Baker. What do I do? Like, she's with Adam Cole. Adam's my friend. And then Edge just laughs and goes, Matt Hardy was my best friend. I still took Lita. What you gotta do is wait till he's hurt and then just swoop in.
Oh, well.
And he listened.
Ninja Rabbit says, it's certainly plausible. Cole looks like the kind of guy who would film another dude fucking his girl. Adam Cole, baby.
Could you imagine? In my other headcanon I have, right, is Adam Cole moved. Because there's been rumors that he'd go back to WWE now that Triple H is in charge. And could you imagine if he moved and he's like, I'm gonna start anew. I'm gonna be in WWE without Britt Baker, it's okay. And then this other rumor happens, which came out to be true, where Britt Baker got suspended. Not for this. For supposedly talking bad about MJF and Will Ospreay. Could you imagine if Adam Cole's thinking of going to WWE, and now there's the thought that Britt Baker could, and he's just sitting there in his apartment, and he's like, why can't good things happen to me? But yeah, that's the true Britt Baker story. Is I guess after MJF and Ospreay had that really good match, that Iron Man match. They had an hour, and it was an anniversary episode of Dynamite. Which, good for Dynamite. I'll always remember AEW because it was around the time of my honeymoon that Dynamite started airing. I remember we came back, and it was on TV, and I just had to give it a watch. So good for Dynamite. But after Ospreay and MJF had this big match, Britt Baker is in the ladies' locker room. She did not like the amount of time they had on the anniversary show. I'm assuming because she thought she should get some more time because she's been there since day one, but so is MJF. So I don't know why she's complaining. And Alicia Toot heard this. For those that don't know, Alicia Toot is one of the newer hires to AEW. She did some backstage interviewing for MJF. Or with MJF, not for MJF, with MJF for the California promotion that I'm now losing the name of. Why can't I remember it? Help me out here.
California promotion?
Yeah, it's the big one. I feel like an idiot.
PWG? Is that California? I don't know.
The one that Jacob Fatu came from. MJF was out there. MLW, which is why I said MJF. Yes, she's with MLW. She's pretty entertaining. I enjoy her. But she supposedly went to MJF, who is her real-life boyfriend, and told him about this. And he went to confront Britt Baker, which everyone online loves that he went and confronted her about it. I don't know why he needed to confront her. I would have just left it alone. But they're like, oh, he handled it without, fighting or blah, blah, blah. Whatever was said, he left the locker room and punched a wall. And then Will Ospreay went and talked to Britt Baker. And then a committee was formed, and then she got suspended. So whatever she said was bad enough to get suspended, which is crazy to me. Because if you're just vocalizing that you're upset they had an hour, people say that in wrestling all the goddamn time. I don't know if it's because she's supposed to be like a figurehead or something, but I don't know why she got suspended. That's the part that intrigues me. Yeah, so she got suspended. And with that, of course, comes all the WWE marks and trolls and, oh, does this mean she's gonna come to WWE now? She's gonna leave Tony Khan? Probably not. I mean, she was injured for so long and then came back and was instantly propelled to the main event. I don't think she's leaving, and if she does, then I'm assuming there's more to this story that we'll find out at a later date. I feel bad for AEW and its fandom because now you're gonna have to listen to the super WWE marks talk about how there's no backstage incidents in WWE.
Yeah.
Like, it just seems that once the waters quiet down in AEW, something like this happens. Whether it's Punk or Sammy Guevara or now Britt Baker, something happens. Yeah, it's been an interesting week or so for Britt Baker, huh?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I just want to wait for more clarification from either him or from her or Adam Cole and their relationship status.
Then I guess if we're talking about rumors and innuendo, we got to talk about the stupidest rumor to come out of X in a long time.
Here, I have the tweet here.
Yeah, go for it.
It is from at Brood Edge, the Hitman's a Twitter account.
Does this guy even like anybody?
No.
Okay.
Bio on the profile is he, him. Current PLE prediction rate 64 out of 78 correct. Edge superfan. Met Edge on March 20th, 2024. So not really anybody supposedly in the business. But it has sources apparently. That WWE is actively testing the waters to go back to WWF. They posted another picture. Something that's posted by a, quote, WWE stagehand. The stagehand will have any sort of insider information other than being like involved in the production of the show on a day-to-day basis, not overarching company decisions. Hunter has one more mission to complete ahead of the move to Netflix. He started a more aggressive product similar to the Attitude Era, and now he just needs to work out something with the World Wildlife Fund so he can bring the F back.
Why would you want to do that? Like, if you're trying to distance yourself from this Vince McMahon stuff, why would you go back to the name that is more synonymous with Vince than anything?
Well, it's not even that. It is. I think it's more. A better reason to not change it is that the company WWE, the name WWE, is worth $7 billion.
Yeah.
And I think the brand WWE is more recognizable now than WWF was.
So, do you think this is like a Sergeant Slaughter burner account, a Hulk Hogan burner account? Like, do you think this is Iron Sheik from the grave? Like, whose burner account you think this is? Brad Shepard's?
I think it's obviously Edge's.
Chris Jericho's? Edge's, yeah.
Brood Edge.
I saw this and I passed by it and I laughed at it, and then I saw that it was gaining traction. Like, are people that just foolish?
I don't know. I don't know how much traction it actually got. The tweet itself got like over 1 million like impressions. We only had like 1,000 likes on it, and most of the people were saying it was dumb, at least on Twitter. But it didn't stop like the like plethora of wrestling news aggregates to keep pushing out clickbait articles saying WWE going back to WWF confirmed, and then click this link below and read our full story, and that's just links to that tweet. So yeah, it kind of just makes me want to put out my own fake story. That what should we do? Triple H plans on bringing back WCW.
Shane
Ahead of
McMahon
Netflix merger.
Shane McMahon plans on bringing back WWF to the Paramount or HBO Max app after talks with Tony Khan / AEW. That would hit every bullet point.
Yeah.
Because you bring up the WCW thing, and I think it was Jeff Jarrett talked about how WWE should bring back WCW on Netflix. Why? Like, it's so far gone. I would rather see an ECW, because then at least then I know there'd be table spots. Like, and I don't know why and I know why he'd say something like that. Because then it'd get stupid fans to tweet about it. But still, come on. Like,
I guess real quick before we wrap this up, so we're going pushing an hour here. There has also been some news of former AEW Tag Champions, the Lucha Bros, going to WWE.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So they can join the LWO?
That seems racist, but probably what would happen. Yeah,
At least they'd start in it.
I'll just say when I told you in a text, I think WWE's tag division could use it.
Oh yeah.
Especially with like New Day not really being a team right now. Or at least
imagine if the Lucha Bros
and the Usos
and the Motor City Machine Guns,
that'd be cool.
will show up.
That'd be real cool. They should both be champs. And then I just want to point that out. Just touch on it a little bit. We don't have to go into a deep discussion on it because it's being reported by Sean Ross Sapp. They're just in talks. Nothing's confirmed yet. So we'll see. But a lighter story to end on here. Former WWE head writer says Vince McMahon revealed to him backstage that China's Playboy was the highest selling issue because Vince himself bought a lot of issues. And with that, we'll make sure you click the link in the description.
Hey,
to get your Dr. Squatch.
look at them tits.
We should follow all of our social medias.
That's the 10th and 11th wonder of the world. God damn.
Linktree/Pro Wrestling Proverbs. Our X account is at PW Proverbs or Pro Wrestling Proverbs everywhere else.
How to not be Dick Cousins with my son-in-law.
And I decided to create us a Reddit page, so you can find us on Reddit now, reddit.com r/Pro Wrestling Proverbs. And if you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email to prowrestlingproverbs@gmail.com. Am I missing anything? I think that's it. So
I think that's it.
A real entertaining show here. I think until next week. What kind of content we got coming down the line? I think we're gonna bring back the Hall of Shame segment. That got a lot of controversy. Maybe we'll do a less controversial subject this time.
I know we've got a sunny podcast coming out to go along with our Women of Wrestling. We'll eventually do some more profiles, whether that's in another year or 10. We've got some of those coming out. We're going to talk about politics and wrestling and how they kind of overlap, especially with election season and a presidential candidate who is also a WWE Hall of Famer. And, there's been some other WWE Hall of Famers in the United States government, so that'll be a fun one to touch on. And, of course, I will talk more about Lucha Wars board game that we were graciously sent, as well as some other... Yes, well... you were sent it, you just didn't receive it.
I don't know what happened. Whatever. I'm not mad.
We were also given a Steam code, so watch out on our social media as we'll be discussing a video game as well, and it won't be Legends of Wrestling. So
yeah, and if you're listening to this, you're obviously one of our more loyal listeners, and we appreciate you.
Yes.
Let us know in the comments what other kind of content you'd like to see. Even like non-wrestling related, we were kind of talking before of possibly doing something, another type of show for people that would be interested in.
Yeah, I guess
that's not.
I guess this episode, talking about your mom's birthday and a dryer hookup and camping and kind of is a little precursor, a little taste of what it could be, huh?
Yeah. So if you wanted like another type of show where we can talk about other things we like football or life in general, let us know.
Yeah,
that'd be something you'd be interested in, because we can definitely do that. Because sometimes wrestling is draining. There's a lot of stuff going on.
There's a lot of wrestling.
A lot of it, most of the time, is great. We love wrestling. That's our favorite thing. But other times it's just like, fuck, how many times are we going to talk about AEW and WWE and the same shit different day? Yeah, so it'd be nice to break the trend every once in a while and do some fun things. It is our pod. We can do what we want with it, but only if you guys...
Yeah. We're not held down by the CMU shackles.
Yeah. Oops. But it is if anybody's interested in it. So Dalton, if you're interested in that... Zion, I don't know who else would be.
Let us know that you've listened to this full way. Comment "Happy Birthday, Anthony's mom" in the comments, and I'm sure she'd love to see it. And she's gonna especially love seeing the signed 8x10 that I sent her.
All right, happy birthday, mom.